welcome to today's episode of Sean's Movie Crusades. My name is Sean Wassercrew, and I'm here to review all the latest films in theaters, as well as anything that you guys recommend, whether it be recent films or old school movies. Before we get to today's review, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button to the channel, so that way you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos that pop up on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Now, today's review, we are going to be reviewing the Disney live-action remake of Aladdin. Now, I'm going to admit this, because I said it enough times in the videos. If you guys have been following me, you guys have heard me say this enough. I have not been excited for this movie. There are many reasons why I have not been excited for this movie, and I'm going to go over them real quick. I'm not a fan of the director. I've never been a fan of Guy Ritchie. I just don't like the way he shoots his movies. I don't like his style. I don't like the way he forms his shots. The Sherlock films I was okay with, but everything else I was just not a fan of. So when I heard that Guy Ritchie was going to be directing Aladdin, that was already a thumbs down for me. Then, of course, we had the whole fiasco of them casting Will Smith as Robin Williams. I had no problem with that. I love Will Smith. I think most of everybody loves Will Smith for many, many reasons. But Robin Williams is such an iconic role. It's one of the most iconic roles ever done. And to see Will Smith come in, a lot of people were worried that he was just going to copy Robin Williams or do his best impersonation of Robin Williams. Then you had the first photos come out of Will Smith in his regular genie outfit, where he's not blue, and people bashed the hell out of that. Then they came out with the first teaser trailer, and the first teaser trailer didn't look great. Then they came out with the first trailer, and we got to see Will Smith as the blue genie, and that didn't look good, and people bashed the hell out of that. Then they came out with the final trailer, and it started to look good, you know? So I was like, okay, maybe this might be okay, at least. But in the back of my head, I'm just going, follow your gut, follow your gut. Guy Ritchie's directing this. He's gonna mess it up. There's so many bad things going against this film. Nothing in this film looks good. It's gonna be a bad movie. Before we get into that, I'm not a person that hates the live-action Disneys. Yes, if you saw my review for Dumbo, I was really, really not a fan of the Dumbo remake, for many reasons. And you guys can check that review here on the channel. Just go back to, I think, February when Dumbo came out, and you'll find my review for that. Yeah, I was not a fan of that. I didn't think it was a good adaptation. I felt like there was just a lot of problems with that movie, and I kind of felt it was going to be that way because I didn't think Tim Burton was the right director to direct that film, just like I feel like Guy Ritchie is not the right person to direct Aladdin. I am one of the very few people that loved Beauty and the Beast. It was one of my favorite movies of, I believe, 2016 is when it came out. I loved Beauty and the Beast. I don't get the hate. People were going, it's a shot-for-shot remake. No, it's not, for one. There are two new songs, and there's a whole other story going on about Belle's mother. It is not for a shot-for-shot remake. I will die on that hill. I loved that one, and I really liked The Jungle Book. I thought The Jungle Book was really well done. I'm not a big Jungle Book fan, so I was really happy with the way it looked. The story was okay for me, but I love the Beauty and the Beast. I did not see Cinderella or Maleficent. I don't know if that counts as a live-action remake because it's not Sleeping Beauty, but it was Sleeping Beauty. I was okay with that. I wasn't crazy about it, but we're getting a sequel of that now, so I guess you gotta kind of be okay with it. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast was the one that I was like, that was great, and Jungle Book was really good, and I couldn't stand Dumbo, and Aladdin was just kind of like, oh god, I don't want them to hate it. And of course, Lion King looks amazing, but we gotta wait another 2 months for that. Also, in terms of the animated films, Aladdin is my number 2 favorite behind The Lion King. I love Aladdin. I love the story. I loved Robin Williams' performance. I love the music. I don't think it's the name of the song, but Street Rat that Aladdin sings when he's running through the shopping area. I love that song. Of course, A Whole New World is a fantastic song. One of my favorite Disney songs of all time. So I love Aladdin. So this is from someone who is a fan of the original. But yeah, it's my number 2 favorite behind A Lion King, and I'm getting both of those this year. So like I said, this movie I was really hesitant going into it. So let's go ahead and dive in to Aladdin and let you know what I thought of it. So the plot, for anyone who doesn't know Aladdin, which if you haven't, go back and watch the cartoon, because yeah, it's one of the best Disney cartoons ever created. We're in the town of Agrabah, and basically you got this street rat or thief, goes by the name of Aladdin. He's got a pet monkey named Abu, and he's just kind of living his life one day at a time. He steals what he needs, and when he doesn't need it, he'll give to the poor, kind of like a Robin Hood, but he's not Robin Hood, so don't follow that if you guys have never seen Aladdin. He runs into Princess Jasmine. He falls for her, and yeah, that happens there. But because he's a thief and a street rat, he knows that he could never be with her because she's a princess, and princesses only fall in love with princes. Then you have Jafar, who's the Sultan's number 2, who wants to overthrow the Sultan, but he knows he can only do that if he gets this magic lamp with a genie and can get 3 wishes to get everything he's ever wanted. So he hires Aladdin to go and capture the lamp so he can have the genie, and in the process, he turns on Aladdin, but Aladdin manages to keep the lamp, and then basically rubs the lamp and gets the genie, and now the genie's following Aladdin, and he uses one of the wishes to become a prince so he can meet Jasmine and fall in love with her. And a lot of other stuff happens, but I think that's pretty much enough bare bones of Aladdin. Like I said, if you guys have not seen Aladdin, go see the 1992 animated feature. But yeah, it's the same story. This movie's basically the same story as that. But that's the general plot of Aladdin. What works with Aladdin? One of the things that I said in many videos, including the anticipated, and I believe I said it last week on the John Wick review, I would love to be able to sit here and say that I was wrong. That Aladdin was a lot of fun and Aladdin was a great film, and I judged it too harshly, or I judged it way too soon without seeing it. Because all I've done is shit on this film ever since the first things came out about it, or ever since they announced that Guy Ritchie was going to do it. And I said there is nothing more that I would rather do than to be wrong and tell you that this movie is a great film. I am happy to announce that I was wrong. I really, really enjoyed this film. I had a blast watching this movie. I won't say it. I would say it's on par with Beauty and the Beast for me. I will still give Beauty and the Beast the nod over it, but I liked this one more than The Jungle Book. I think this movie is going to get a lot of bad rap, and I think with this film, people are going to go in with super low expectations, like I was, and come out pleasantly surprised. And because of that, I feel like the word of mouth is going to get stronger, and this is actually going to become just as big of a hit as Beauty and the Beast was in the box office. This movie, I'm not saying it's a perfect film. There are problems with it, and we will get to that. But, damn it, if I did not have a great time watching this movie. It was so much fun, and a lot more fun than I expected. And the best part about it is, except for outside of 5 seconds of the movie, it did not feel like a Guy Ritchie film. There was a 5-second scene that I immediately hated, and I go, this has to be Guy Ritchie doing this, and then it went away, and then the rest of the movie felt like a Disney film. I was happy, I enjoyed myself, and did not see Guy Ritchie's direction at all in the film, and that was a huge plus for me. Now, for the people that had the main biggest question, is how is Will Smith as the genie? Is he a Robin Williams ripoff? Does he impersonate Robin Williams? Can I watch this without hating Will Smith for doing Robin Williams? The answer is no on all those. He doesn't do any of that. Will Smith makes the genie his own. Yes, he does say the same lines as Robin Williams because they have the same dialogue. But he does it his own way. He does it his own unique way, to the point where Robin Williams the genie and Will Smith the genie feel like 2 separate genies that just look alike. When Robin Williams was doing Aladdin, and he would go really, really high with his voice, Will Smith brings it back to here. He does not try to match Robin Williams, which is the number one thing you can't do. You cannot match Robin Williams' performance. You just got to do it your own way. And is it a little tempered compared to Robin? Of course, because no one's going to hit Robin Williams. But does Will Smith still put his his spin on it? Does Will Smith still do his Will Smithness in the role? Absolutely. Does he rap at certain points? Yes. Does he do his a lot? But Will Smith does it his own way, and you enjoy his way. He's an incredibly funny and incredibly charming Will Smith, but he is doing it like Will Smith. He's not at all ever doing it like Robin Williams. So for anyone who's worried about Will Smith's performance, don't be. Will Smith is probably the most enjoyable part of the movie. And I'm not saying that everyone else sucked. I'm just saying that if I had to pick a favorite part, it was definitely Will Smith's performance as Genie. He knocks it out of the park. He does Robin Williams greatly. I mean, he tips the hat to him. He does it respectfully without torturing the performance of Robin Williams, without ever making anyone go, I missed Robin. Because he does it his own way. And I can commend Will Smith for doing that, and a great job he does in it. The next best thing in the movie, I feel, is Naomi Scott's Jasmine. Now, Naomi Scott, I feel like this is going to be her breakout role. I personally loved her as the Pink Ranger in 2017's Power Rangers, and a lot of people aren't going to know her from much else outside of that, outside of TV shows. But Naomi Scott does a fantastic job as Jasmine. I feel like she embodies the passion and the toughness that Princess, could not say the word, Princess Jasmine does, because of all the Disney princesses outside of like Mulan, Jasmine's a badass. She was a badass in the cartoon. She's a badass in this movie. And Naomi Scott does a fantastic job of portraying Jasmine. She's got a great voice that I did not know she had until this film. And she knocks it out of the park. And I feel like this is going to open up her filmography immensely. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to want her now that she did this role. For the three other actors in the film that I've not really known, you've got... obviously, Aladdin, played by Mina Massoud? I know I just said that twice the exact same way. I don't know how to say his name, but Mina Massoud, or Massoud. Does he take a little bit to get used to? Yeah, probably like 5-10 minutes. But after that, he makes Aladdin his own, and he does a great job portraying Aladdin. And the chemistry between him and Naomi Scott works incredibly well. You can feel the attraction and the love brewing between Jasmine and Aladdin because of their two performances. And I think Mina does a great job, and I hope this blossoms his career. Because I think outside of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan TV show that came out last year, I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. He's got a role in that. So if you guys like that movie and you guys want to see Aladdin in something else, check out Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. But yeah, he does a great job as Aladdin. He has a great back and forth with Will Smith. And like I said, his chemistry is fantastic with Naomi Scott. And then him with Abu is also works really well. Marwan Kenzari, who plays Jafar. Yes, is he a little too young for the role? Absolutely. Because the whole time I was watching the movie, I'm going, God, I wish Jafar was older. Because in the cartoon, he's kind of a gangly old man. And in this, he's maybe 5 years older than Jasmine and Aladdin in this movie. And a lot of people called him Sexy Jafar. I mean, the dude's not ugly. But I think he does a real good job playing Jafar. He definitely has that villainous side to him. He plays the villain role really well. And yeah, I enjoy Jafar. I just wish he was played by an older actor. But that's nothing against Marwan Kenzari at all. Like I said, he does a good job. I just kind of wish he had been older for the role, because Jafar is an older character. Naveed Negabon? God, I butcher these names. He plays the Sultan. He definitely gets a lot more to... excuse me. He definitely gets a lot more to do in this than they did in the animated film. But yeah, I thought he was a fine Sultan. I mean, he doesn't do anything to like break out in this film, but he does his job very well. He does do a little more than what the Sultan does in the cartoon. But yeah, I liked his performance. I thought he did a good job. Nasim Padran, many people might know her from Saturday Night Live and a bunch of other little things on TV. She plays Dahlia, and that's Jasmine's like handmaiden. I liked her performance. I thought she did a really good job. I think her and Naomi Scott have a great back and forth, basically playing the best friends to one another. I thought they worked really well, and I liked their scenes together. Her and Will Smith have good back and forth. Also, Billy Magnuson. Many people might know him from last year's comedy Game Night. He comes in, he plays one of the princes that's trying to win Jasmine's hand in marriage. He's got 2 scenes in it, but he's hilarious in both those scenes. So be on the lookout for him. I mean, you really can't miss him. But yeah, he's pretty funny. And then I think last but not least, the only person really to mention is Numan Akar. He plays Hakim, which is basically the Sultan's like chief security officer, like the #1 security guy. He has a few little little things here or there, but I think he did a really good job for the role, and he does have a few moments where he kind of stands out. And I think he did a real good job. So yeah, that for the cast, I think everyone did a really good job. The music, all the songs are very well done. I mean, they basically do every song from Aladdin. They have one new song that a lot of females are going to really, really like. I thought it was actually really well done. I think Naomi Scott kills it on that song. The movie does a good job of adding new stuff into the film that was not in the original. So for people who argued that Beauty and the Beast was a shot-for-shot remake, does Aladdin? Can you watch Aladdin side by side with the cartoon and go scene, 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 scene? Sure, but they do things differently and they add new things to the live action that makes it different from the cartoon. It starts differently. It ends differently, and there are different elements in the middle that are different from the cartoon to make Aladdin not necessarily its own, because it still follows a lot of the same lines and beats as the animated film, but it does enough to feel like its own film in its own kind of way, and more up to date with the times that the film is made today as it was in 1992, if that made any sense to you guys at all. But yeah, like I said, it basically does enough to be different than it being a carbon copy of the 1992 film. It looks beautiful. That was never going to be a problem with this movie. Even from the trailers, the whole thing looked great. Will Smith's genie, well, yes, the first time we saw him, we all attacked it. But he looks great in the film. Whether he's blue or whether he's normal, he looks good the whole way through. And yes, it makes sense why he looks not blue in this film. They do explain that. And they do go over that. And they also, one thing I like is there are a ton of Easter eggs in the film around Disney. Plus, they also do a tip of the cap to the animated film. There's one part of the movie, they literally show the animated characters, which could annoy people or people won't notice. Like, the person I was with, they didn't notice it. I noticed it right off the bat, and I chuckled going, oh, that's cool. Depending on who you are, you may like that, you may not like that. I liked it. And like I said, there's a ton of little Easter eggs here and there of Magic Kingdom. Hell, they show Magic Kingdom like 2 or 3 times in this film as just little like funny little side jokes. So they have little Easter eggs throughout the movie about Disney. But yeah, like I said, the singing, the singing for the most part, very well done. Chemistry between the characters, really well done. Performances, great across the board. Looks beautiful. Fun to watch. The comedy works really well. The action works for the most part alright, but it's not a real action-packed movie by any means. And for anyone who's seen the animated film, you know what action I'm talking about. The carpet looks amazing. Raja the tiger looks fantastic. There was never a time where I looked at Raja and went, yeah, that's fake. For the most part, they make Raja the tiger look as real as can be. Abu, there are some times where you can clearly tell it's a CGI monkey, and the reason why is because Abu has to sell more facial expressions because he has a lot more facial interactions with Aladdin and everybody else, so there are times where you're like, okay, clearly that's a fake monkey. Not that that was ever in any doubt, but he looks good for the most part. There's just sometimes with the face that it doesn't look quite right. But other than that, like I said, a lot works for Aladdin. I really enjoyed the film. What does not work, the main thing that I noticed right off the bat is they try to make Will Smith sing. Will Smith's the rapper. He's not a singer. So when he has to sing, he's not a guy who can belt out the lyrics. He kind of sings almost like he's telling a secret, almost kind of as like a whisper, real soft kind of song. And Aladdin, or Mina, is kind of the same way. So when they sing, the music tends to overtake their vocals. Like Arabian Nights, for example. Will Smith actually performs Arabian Nights to open the film, and for the most part, the orchestra tends to overtake Will Smith's voice. The Street Rat song, while Aladdin is singing it, or Mina is singing it, the orchestra tends to overtake his voice. Prince Ali, for the most part, you can hear what Will Smith's singing, but there are certain parts where the music tends to over volume over Will Smith's voice. And Naomi Scott, not a problem. She sings, you hear her. She powers through the music doesn't overtake her. A Whole New World works fantastic when she sings with Mina. Like I said, if you know the lyrics to those songs, it's not going to bother you. But for anyone who does not know the lyrics to the Aladdin songs, well, that sucks for you. But you might not be able to fully hear when Mina and Will sing because the music is just so much louder than their voices. So that was something I noticed right off the bat. Like I said, there's 5 seconds in there that they clearly did something different that does not fall in line with the rest of the film. You guys probably won't even notice it. I noticed it right off the bat and I hated it, and it's the only 5 seconds they did it in the film. That was clearly a Guy Ritchie decision. Luckily, they didn't do it again after that. But yeah, there are certain things that it just... There's dance sequences that didn't quite work for me because they try to make it more modern than Bollywood, in a sense. And you guys will understand when you see what I'm talking about. There's one dance sequence in the middle of the film that was going really well, and then they modernized it, and I wasn't a real big fan of that. And like I said, I don't have a problem with it. I actually thought it was alright. They do change the way the story goes in a certain way without me giving it away that will maybe piss off some people or maybe upset some, not upset, but mainly just piss off, because people are going to find ways to get pissed off at a movie regardless. That deviates away from the animated film. I didn't hate it. I thought it made total sense for the way the characters are portrayed in the film and the way the film is going, that I actually liked it and was okay with it. But I can see how it'll piss off some people. And like I said, Naomi Scott's song that she sings, that's a new song for the film. Is it kind of a very girl power kind of song that they added for today? Sure. Will that annoy some people? Sure. I actually enjoyed the song. I thought it was a very powerful song. I thought Naomi Scott killed it. But I can see how it could annoy certain people. It's going to annoy the same people who got pissed off with the Avengers Endgame all-girl team-up for that split, 10 seconds, which I wasn't necessarily a fan of, but not because of why they did it. It was just because it felt forced. This one, it doesn't feel forced in this movie, what they do. It does feel natural, but I can see where people could get pissed off about it. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't care about it as much as some people will. But like I said, that doesn't really fall into my what doesn't like, because I was okay with it. Other than that, everything else is just kind of nitpicky. But I can't really say it or describe it without it coming off spoiler. So, like I said, what doesn't work, sometimes Abu doesn't look quite right in the face. The music sometimes overcarries over the vocals, and you can't fully hear Will Smith and Mina sing. And then people who are diehards of the original story might get upset with the changes that they make in the film. Overall, I had a blast watching Aladdin. And like I said, I'm so happy that I was able to be wrong about this, because I went in with the lowest expectations. Now, because I say that, I don't want you guys going into this with super high expectations, because if you do, it's not going to reach it. If you're going in expecting to see the 1992 animated feature, you're probably going to be disappointed in a way, or it could hit it. Go in with the low expectations that I had. You're going to enjoy it that way. You're probably going to love it that way. This is definitely a movie. Like with Dumbo, I saw it once. I will probably never ever see it again. Aladdin, I feel like, is a movie that I can go back to and rewatch many times and have a good time every time I watch it. Like I said, I love the performances. I love the chemistry between the cast. I love the way it looked. I think Agrabah looked fantastic. The clothing all looked great. There's a lot to like about this movie, and I'm glad to be proven wrong about the film. I'm very, very happy to say that I strongly recommend Aladdin. And definitely go out of your way to go see it. I want Aladdin to do well. I want people to see this and be happy seeing it and have a good time watching it. And I hope you guys do have a good time as much as I had a good time watching it, because about halfway through the film, all my fears and worries went away, and I was just able to sit there and smile and laugh and enjoy what I was watching, and I hope you guys are able to do that too. So if you guys liked this review, actually before we get into that, so rolling into the top 10 of 2019 so far, Aladdin comes in at the number 5 spot. Number 1 obviously still stays with Avengers Endgame. Number 2 stays with John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Number 3 still goes to Us. Number 4 is Brightburn. Number 5 goes to Aladdin, with number 6 being Longshot, number 7 being Shazam, number 8 being Pokemon Detective Pikachu, number 9 going to Fighting With My Family, with number 10 being How to Train Your Dragon 3 The Hidden World, with the Lego Movie 2, the second part, dropping out of the top 10. So, it's getting to the point now, like I said, I really, really liked Aladdin, but it only was at number 5 for me. There's a lot of good movies coming out. Like I said, there's some big movies coming out still for the rest of the summer. I mean, we are just entering summer movies. Next week, we got 2 films. We got Rocket Man, with Taron Egerton playing Elton John, and of course, Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Super, super psyched for that. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and every time I see the trailers for that movie, I just get giddy. And after that, we've got Secret Life of Pets 2, which I'm not real excited about. I probably won't even go see it, unless you guys really, really want me to. And then X-Men Dark Phoenix, which we'll see how that ends. So yeah, those are what's coming down the pipe. And then, like I said, I'm going to get together with all my guys that help co-host the Avengers Endgame spoiler chat, and we're going to come up with some new videos for you guys to enjoy. But if you guys liked this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys feel like this review is worth sharing, go ahead and hit that share button. But most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to the channel, so that way you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos that pop up on YouTube. And also, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. And until next time, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.